activating? Because your last videos, it looks like you're in a dungeon. Like, oh, yeah. So.
All right, let me see if this is on YouTube yet. Okay. Oh, there we go. It's going into commercial.
Okay.
Once I see it on there, then I know we're good. Skip ad, whatever. Hey, all right. So we're a few. There's some lag there. I usually cover it up with this screen. Anyways, this is a. Oh, everybody's telling me we're live. First of all, I'm very happy to have one of my very, very good friends, Steve Tower from After Further Review, on the channel. Steve, say hello to everybody.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Welcome to the green room here in AFR headquarters. I'm taking you literally behind the curtain of AFR.
Well, we're gonna be pulling the curtain back on a few things a little bit. Just to let you guys know that Top Pro Wrestling will be pre-recorded this Saturday at 8 p.m. So it'll just pop up, but you're going to want to see it because it is going to encompass everything that Steve and I are going to be talking about tonight. And it is the history of Monday Night Tights versus Top Pro Wrestling. Now, some of you don't even know what the heck I'm talking about, and that's okay. You're going to want to see this because it is a massive storyline that has taken place to the point where some of the fans are taking it so seriously that I'm getting death threats, which is great because I'm a great heel. Oh, Keith Collins here, new troll. Game line 146 and Serpium, how are you? Captain Carl is even here in here. How do you like that, Steve?
Oh, all right. Yeah.
All right. Now, he said, also, I think I missed my calling. I could have been a great heel manager after watching you on Steve's shows last night.
And you have a nice evil laugh.
No,
I will say that.
Well, it's you see, that's where everybody's got to wonder. How much of it is a shoot, and how much of it is kayfabe,
and how much of it is you wanting to be the next Bond villain? Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Steve and I have been working on this whole thing for 2 months, and a lot of you probably haven't seen it, but I've been secretly sending videos to Steve as a hidden figure. And finally, I revealed who I was. Now, the whole story behind all of it, Kabuki, it's always good to see you, is how this all plays out. And we have a special guest that is going to tell the whole story up to this point for a lot of you to catch up, so you can see what's going to happen between Top Pro Wrestling and Monday Night Tights. Now, Monday Night Tights obviously is on Monday nights at 8:30 on Steve's channel After Further Review. One of the things that Steve and I decided to do this was we decided to raise some money. Steve's daughter suffers from cystic fibrosis, as well as my daughter-in-law, who obviously his daughter means the world to him, and of course my daughter-in-law is the world to me. Right now she's pregnant with our granddaughter, and we're holding our breath because, as you know, Steve, cystic fibrosis affects the lungs, so breathing is very hard. And when you go into labor, what's the most important thing that you have going for you?
Well, for me, it was the hospital cafeteria, but my wife would probably say breathing.
Yeah. No, definitely. Breathing. So this is a very serious disease, and Steve and I decided to work together, and we're going to do everything we can to raise money for this charity together. Now, I've got some really pretty good news, and I'm hoping Helen will pop her head in soon, because she's going to be able to explain it better than anybody. And that is that we have opened up a merch store on Cafe Press. It's Rob's Tabletop merch. And she is currently working on a t-shirt that is Monday Night Tights versus Top Pro Wrestling, taking our two logos and really working on something to work on this. And the thing is that you buy the t-shirt, any of the proceeds that we get from those t-shirts are going to go to CF, as well as we're going to be doing a pay-per-view at some point. But I don't want to give that away, because the one thing with Steve and I is our storylines take really weird turns. If anything, just when you think you got everything figured out, we change the questions.
Yeah, or the game throws a wrench into the works.
And it's a real funny thing. And I really want to hear your background, but I just want to catch everybody up. Captain Carl says, don't forget to let me know when everything is set up so that I can send my donation that I told you earlier. And Captain Carl, I can't thank you enough. Larissa, great to see you. Hopefully we get Helen in here. She can hit us up with the links and everything. She's been working very hard on this. This is something that we've been working on for a while. And finally today we were able to get the things that I needed to do, because I've been all over the place. But not only am I going to I'm going to donate most of the proceeds from anything that we sell to charity. And that's all I care about. This isn't about us making money. It's about charity. And I think you guys know us well enough that, especially this channel here, it's built around charity. And as people come in, usually about 10 minutes in, people will just keep coming in. Chris Henderson, good to see you. Got to join you live for a change. I know I'm actually staying up past my bedtime to do this, but Steve's a former Marine, okay, and we're both veterans. And the hardest thing about doing this, and I noticed the way Steve is and the way I am, is bending. We're not two guys that, in the wrestling thing, you got to lose somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I've got to beat you down. And it's very hard for you to stay down because of your Marine mentality. And that's one thing I noticed. And for me, with my mentality from my time in the service, it's just very, okay, so it's not that we do this. It's neither one of us want to give or look weak.
It's the immovable object, right? Against the unstoppable force.
Now we're doing this wrestling thing, but the real thing behind it is to show the genius of Keith Avalon, who right now is in a million pieces and bloodied, which Keith, you should have had me on the show. You never would have paid the way you did.
Oh, yeah. You hate to see that happen.
Yeah, you hate to see it happen when the little ambulance backed up and now it's like 8:45 last night, and I'm laying in bed and I'm watching this. If you haven't seen it, go check out Monday Night Tights. And after they cart poor Keith, because he made a card for himself for the face to the mat. Let me just turn on the air out here. And I do live in Florida. High Volume Games, how are you? Leroy Porkins, how are you? Sue Park, good to see you. Soul Razor. Look at everybody's just popping in now.
All right.
Yeah, we're getting going. But the funny thing is this guy is such a genius. It's not just the wrestling thing, but he made a card for himself, and he made a card to Steve. So I took it personally because there's no card for the living legend. Okay. So I decided that, and I said, Steve, I'm not going to make it about you. We're going to swerve this, and we're going to kill Keith. we're gonna beat him out to death, and everything is his fault because he didn't have me on his show, and I'm the big personality, and we're gonna make it all this thing, and I'm gonna be the most evil prick there was. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Hey Matt, how are you? Jen's good to see you. And it worked out pretty well because everybody thinks I'm like the worst person on the
Yeah,
planet.
yeah, there was some heated comments for
Oh yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Oh God. But the best thing about Steve's channel after further review, and I really encourage you to go over and check it out. He does all types of sports games. Now, sports games may not be your thing, um, but if it's something you're interested in, I think you'll be really, really fascinated in the mathematics on how he figures out all these things, because they're not like a stratomatic where you're going off statistics. You're going off probability and events and people. And that's how he makes it work. It's just the most incredible thing, whether it's golf, hockey, football, baseball, all these games. Right now, you and I are stuck on the wrestling thing because we just have this incredible chemistry where, what people don't realize is that you and I talk probably maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been a collaborative effort for sure.
Yeah. And we're constantly bouncing things off each other. What people don't know is that Steve and I were on the Dice Tower at the same time. And one of the big things is that Tom would always say, you get 2 minutes. If you're 1 second over 2 minutes, I'm not going to air your thing. And you're like, okay. And then other people would get 240, 255. It depended who he liked at the time. Well, you kind of figured out the same thing that I did. You make all these videos and, you kind of, oh, okay, I'm just making videos. Why don't I just do it myself and not, and try to build up my channel? And you left. And of course I left. And I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. No, I think it was a little longer, that 6 months ago. And you had reached out and you said, something, I really like what you do, Rob, and I would love to do something with you. And I said, Steve, I would love to do something with you. Of course, it turned out to be like one of the busiest times when I was trying to catch up with about a million things and everything like that. And about 3 months went by and you didn't hear anything out from me. So I guess you assumed I blew you off, right?
Yeah, it's
No,
typical.
just say it.
Your big personality. I'm like, all right, I get it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Big personality. So, look forward to Rob saying, this is Sparta. Well, I will very soon. And I know the game you guys are talking about, and I think you're really going to like some of the things that you're going to see from Origins, but we'll get into that in a little while. But finally, I reached out to you and I said, I try to stick my head in when I can. And I started catching up on your wrestling thing. And I go, yeah, no, I would really like to try this game out. So I got the game in and I was completely blown away by it. And that's when the light went off. And I said, Steve, we've been meaning to do something together. And finally, I'm putting together my federation. And then what I'm going to do is let's do something together. And then, we talked and I found out your daughter had the same thing that my daughter-in-law had. Kabuki says, I can't stick for the entire show tonight. Heading out to the movie shortly. I hope you're going to go see Godzilla again. But hey, I want another Godzilla. But I learned a few things, so it doesn't matter how much you do. They're going to do King Kong versus Godzilla, and then it's going back to Japan. The license is going back to Japan. Oh. So, anyways, to get back to the story, I came up with this idea. I go, we won't reveal who I am for over a month or so. And that was the hardest thing, is I would make like these 30-second to a minute and a half videos of this cryptic evil message. And you would play it. But the funny thing about it is at the end of the message, you would start to laugh.
Oh. Well, you did a couple where you toned your voice so it was way up. So somebody even commented like, "Oh, the lollipop kids
the lollipop kids are coming." Yeah. After I saw that comment, I decided to turn the thing all the way down. I was like, "I'm coming to get you, Steve." We got a question by Kabuki. Have you seen Shin Godzilla yet? I've seen it 19 times. It is awesome. They're not even going to do Shin Godzilla 2. They're actually going to reinvent the whole universe, and it's just going to be glorious. So stick with me for the next 5 years while I can. We'll cover Godzilla all you want. But I admired your channel because you have such a unique following, because it's I said the lollipop cake joke. High Volume Games said that.
That's
Now,
my friend Bill for High Volume Games. Welcome.
yeah, Bill, how are you? And it was absolutely hysterical because I looked at that. I go, oh God, you sound like the lollipop kids. But I wanted to do something so creepy and weird, and that high voice was creepy.
Sure, yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna look into the light, Steve, because you will never. And the best thing I could tell you, go back and see the wrestling videos. But here she is. Hey, everyone, trying to get things done here and missed the live announcement. But Helen, I don't even know what the link is. So if Helen could put up the link and put it in the end of the thing. Helen is working feverishly to get these T-shirts that we're going to be raising money for charities, Make-A-Wish, cystic fibrosis, and many other things, to try to formulate a way that we can turn it where you guys get something for your money. And I really have a big announcement that's going to deal with Gen Con. If you have a T-shirt on while you're at Gen Con, you guys are going to want to find me. You're going to want to find me. So we got something fun going on. But the other tough thing to deal with, Steve, was the fact that I've been traveling so much. And one of the videos I had to film in a hotel bathroom.
Oh no! Oh, I didn't hear this story. Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm like, I'm out. I was out at BGG Con in Dallas, and I go, oh my God, I got to get that video because my plane, I'm not going to be able to get it, and I needed to get it to you early. So I turn on the light in the bathroom, and of course it's this small little itty bitty light, and I'm trying to get just the light, but I couldn't get it, and that's the one where you only see like the out frame of the light. So so then I cut the promo, and then I go in to edit, and then I change the voice, and now all of a sudden it sounds like a little midget going to the bathroom, and it's going, oh my God. The only thing that was missing, it was me flushing the toilet. But I send it off, and I go, yeah, Steve could use this, and that's the way we go.
Oh.
But how long have you been doing your channel, Steve?
So I put up my first video actually in August of 2013.
Mm-hmm. What made you decide to be one of us? One of these strange people.
Yes, I know. Well, so it was the release of History Maker Baseball from Play.com.
Okay.
And that came out, and I was just like, oh, this is such a fantastic game. It just completely changes the narrative of what a baseball game should be. And then I kind of realized, and I was like, and no one's going to hear about it except for this small little community. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I took some film classes in college. I can stand. So at the time, I literally stood an iPad up on some boxes, put it in front of me, and edited it on iMovie on my iPad and uploaded it to YouTube.
And the funny thing is, you do all these things in OBS that I can't even do. You got the green screen and all that stuff, and it's just stuff I want to do. Of course, you don't have my friend here.
That's true. Yes.
The star of the show.
The headset kills me every time.
I know. People, you are going to want to watch Top Pro Wrestling this Saturday night. Steve and I were watching the video that I just got. It took me like 4 hours to do this video, and
a labor of love.
And we were watching it, and you were getting ready to go someplace, and I'm like, Steve, you got to see this. So I got him on FaceTime, and I'm going, Steve, watch this. And then I told Helen, because she's one of the main administrators. I go, Helen, go check out this video. But don't drink anything because you're going to spit it all over your computer. And the guy that steals the show is the Tiger, but he tells the entire history of this. And I think you guys are going to really like this because it kind of leads into this Monday night where you wonder, okay, now what happens next. And I really suggest you guys watch that, or go back and watch all the whole story. I believe it started on April 29th with a day, not a day of reckoning. What was the video? What was before Day of Reckoning, your pay-per-view? Some it was the
Oh
April
gosh, which,
it was the April 26th one, or something like that.
let's see.
Because that's when I invaded for the first time. Flask. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, make sure you drink out of a flask when you watch this.
Oh yes, yes. There you go.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah, there they go. Tiger with a mic. Yeah.
oh, the Reign of Destruction
Yeah, the Reign of Destruction.
was my
That's
April.
that is the first video that it comes into, and then just play Monday Night Tights all the way through, and you'll just see how it all kind of works together. Captain Carl says Tiger, he wrestled more in New Japan Wrestling. Yes, he did, but this Tiger is strictly a commentator, and he is unbiased. So you'll see how this all works together, and how the Tiger gets involved. I tell you, sometimes we look at each other and we go, "Geez, I think we do this better than the people that really do it."
So yeah, we're having fun with it, and
Like we start getting so ahead of ourselves that we have to rein ourselves in. No, let's see what happens. Because the funny thing about the game, folks, is that we may have something planned, but the game changes everything. So we had something in mind, but then the game decides to just take things on its own and just turn everything upside down, and then we have to rebuild everything that we do. And it's really a lot of fun, and you could see how much fun that we're having doing it. Of course, we have one guy out there that is taking it so seriously that he like leaves a comment almost like every single day. I'm not going to stop leaving a comment because, my God, Rob, I hate you with everything I got. You're going to leave Steve alone if it's the last thing I do. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going to come in and like murder everybody. Also, I'm thinking, I'm a hell of a heel.
yes, there you go. Right? It's like they say, like you either want to get booed or you want to get cheered.
I'm sorry, I like
nothing.
I like it.
Yeah.
But my real problem is with that bum Keith Adlon, and I just might go into that thing that he's doing. He's doing that unboxing on Thursday on his channel, play.com. Is that
yes?
He is?
This
I think I just might invade that and give him a couple, a little bit of a piece of my mind. I'm the big star here, Steve. I'm the one with the big channel. Okay. I don't know why he's not back in, the big truck. Okay.
Well, hey, sure.
No.
See,
there you go. Because now you're going to go call him and you're going to say, listen, you're going to want to ban this guy the minute you see him. I'm your star. Because that's what it really is, Steve. It's all about you.
Oh boy. All right. Rob, there's
go ahead.
A lot of things said here. Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to get mad once. I mean, I've tried everything I can to get you mad, and all we get is, well, that wasn't very nice. because honestly, Steve, you are the carbon copy of my future son-in-law. Okay, because he's like the nicest kid I ever met in my life. My daughter, who is a complete moody monster, and everybody knows Victoria. Okay, Victoria can be, and no matter what she does, he'll turn to her and I'll go, well, that's a negatory. We are not going to. It's like the most nicest person in the world. And I'm waiting for you to get mad at me, Steve. I'm trying everything I can.
Maybe tune into the pay-per-view next Monday and we'll
turn into the pay-per-view and see what the reckoning is.
Yeah. Well, School's out forever is our Monday, our June pay-per-view. So you know what? Maybe it's time to take you back to school, Rob. What you gonna do? Yeah.
Well, I'll show you what I'm going
See,
to do.
see, so my problem is I would try to turn into Hulk Hogan and I would turn into Chris Farley instead. I become Jojo the idiot, boy, the circus boy. Yeah.
In a fan down by the river.
Oh yeah. So
But I really suggest you guys really check out Steve's channel. He does a wonderful job, and we're very committed. And I mean this sincerely because I love him dearly. I mean we talk so much, it's ridiculous. I think we laugh more than
yes, yeah, a lot of laughing.
but the most important thing is our dedication to charity, and we've come up with all these wonderful ideas to raise money for charity, to help people. This, especially the CF is such a horrible disease, and we didn't know anything about it until she came into our life, and to see how she struggled. My son was actually he was donating some of his time down at I wouldn't call it a food bank. It's one of those thrift stores that raise money for the homeless.
Okay.
And somebody, what at night they have to wear a vest, and it vibrates. Your daughter has to wear the same thing.
After she does her breathing treatments, then she puts on a vest, and
yeah,
the breathing treatments break up the buildup, and then the vest kind of shakes it out so that they can expel it. So
so they can expel it and spit it out, and we just didn't really we didn't know the extent of it. So she decided, we had her move in because she was living up in Ocala and she worked here, and we took her in, and of course my son loved her to death, but she had this really old machine, and people don't realize how much that machine costs. I mean, it's anywhere from the $5,000 to $6,000. Am I right, Steve?
Something like that. Fortunately, our insurance covered it.
Right, but for people that that don't have the greatest insurance, so she had this old rickety thing, and my son was down at this thing, and he had learned and took so much time to learn about CF that somebody had donated a brand new machine.
Oh, wow.
And with the vest, and he grabbed it and he was just praying, oh God, I hope this works, because hers was going out, and she would have to kick out some money because the insurance only covered so much. And sure enough, we got it here, we tested it, and it worked. But you really think about people that go through this and are using old equipment, and that thing is very vital. Just that one thing, not to mention all the medications and stuff that people go through. It taxes people out with their their insurance and things like that. So they always need something. And number one, I think the most important thing that we can do is really try to do what we can to help research everything that we can, so your daughter has a long and wonderful life. And we can hope the same for my daughter-in-law. So I'm very committed to this. I know Steve's committed to this, and we're not just going to keep this to the wrestling thing. We're going to do some of these other sport things, and I think I'm going to have Steve on the channel here, because Steve actually does like other board games besides sports games.
Yes, occasionally I do break out some other board games.
Yeah, see, and so we got some really neat things that we can do here on the channel, of course, and you never know, we might get the tiger involved too.
Oh boy.
Godzilla lover, one of my favorite people, is here. No, we were chatting a little bit about Godzilla. We were talking about how King Kong and Godzilla will be the last American movie, and then it goes back to Japan, and they're going to reboot. They canceled Shin Godzilla 2, and they're going to redo the entire series, the whole MonsterVerse, and make it like the Marvel verse.
Oh
So
boy.
that's really, yeah. So we'll see how they do it. The first movie should be out in 2021, and a movie every year, 1 to 2 years. So hopefully I live long enough to see that. I'm old.
Oh boy. Oh.
but
And
but the other thing is, that's kind of funny, and just to show you how Steve and I butt heads a bit, is Steve is a huge Boston fan. Okay, so he's a Patriot fan, correct? Yeah, he's got it. I'm going to be quiet long enough so that you can show that shirt again.
this my Carl Yastrzemski jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife is a huge Red Sox fan. So for baseball, I just kind of ignore it because I always want my wife's team to win because she suffered for so long. But I hate the Bruins with every bit of my soul. So much to the point I bought a St. Louis Blues hat when I was in St. Louis, and actually got to go to Game 3 where they got completely blown out. I think people were happy to send me out of St. Louis. It was like, they're never going to win with you here, kid. Get out. And sure enough, they won the next home game. And of course, you're a New England Patriot fan, correct?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So, being a Seahawk fan, it's one of the most painful experiences I've ever had in my life, but it's typical for the Seahawks to lose in some kind of fashion like that. So, I'm just used to it. Tim Roots here. How you doing? My boyfriend is a Blackhawks fan. Whoa.
Oh, no.
Whoa. 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 Let's not get crazy here, Kabuki.
Oh.
And guys, if you have any questions, go ahead, put them in there. You know me, I can bounce and do a few things at once. I'm quite talented, I think.
I did want to mention about what got me started, and actually, the person who really influenced me a lot. Do you remember Board Games with Scott?
No.
Scott Nicholson?
Yeah. Way back.
Yeah. His review that he did of Pillars of the Earth. He kind of made the concept of like you open with a comedic sketch, and then you go in and you look at the components, and then you give your overview, and then your final thoughts, and I don't know, he just had this way of doing it, and it was in an intelligent yet funny way. And actually, now he's a professor. I think for a while he was working at Syracuse University, but I think now he's up in Canada. But yeah, he was just it was like, so you can like have an intelligent conversation about our hobby.
He was actually part of the Dice Tower at the same time you and I was, where he was the White Tower or something like that.
Yes. Right. It was some kind of play on words about education, and but that was Scott. So he was one of the first ones, and so I always like to give him a shout out because he was one of the first guys and that got me thinking like, hey, I could do this.
Kabuki said it was the Ivory Tower. That's right.
Ivory Tower. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so we got people asking some questions. Who is the Tigers' favorite team? Well, of course, it is the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Lions. I hate the Bengals. I have a relative that's a Bengal, and I can't stand him. He just talks all the time and drinks too much beer. Bitty beer.
Oh, hey now. We can't all have Miniature Market behind us.
Listen, you tell me in any of those promos where I was lying.
All right, I'll get back to you.
That's a great heel. When you look and you go, oh my God, I hate that guy. But what did he say that was a lie? Arn Anderson was good at that. Scott was the first guy doing board game videos. Kabuki says, yes, he was, and he was really good at it. And I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened to him, Steve?
I think he became a full-time professor, and he actually does like he teaches like board game design in theory. Um, I follow him on Twitter now, and he was he was in some convention in Europe where they were like doing escape rooms and but yeah, so I think now he's just focused on his teaching.
Yeah,
But
a matter of fact, Kabuki confirmed that he's heavily into escape rooms now, even more so than board games. Oh, there you go. See, Kabuki laying the law.
there you go.
If Kabuki don't know it, nobody
Oh,
does.
okay.
Trust me, trust me.
Nice.
Uh, High Volume Game says, I'm converting Steve into a Marlins fan when we play HMB.
Oh
The
boy.
lovable losers, LOL. There you go. There you go.
Uh,
But what other board games do you like? You know, the ones that really stick out in your head that what we need is a Steve top 5 board games, not sports games, board games. Can you do that?
so including sports or
No,
top five
no, no.
outside of
Outside of sports games, because that's too easy for you.
oh
We
boy.
got to give you some hard questions here.
Now if it has a sports theme, does that count?
I'll give you one. I'll
Because
let you fit one in. I'll let you fit one in.
oh
How's
okay,
that?
because baseball highlights 2045
Oh yeah, no, that's
would
fine.
definitely be
That's
yeah.
definitely okay. So all right, so go ahead. Give us your top 5.
So let's see,
Number 5.
Shadows of Brimstone
Okay, great game.
would be
Shadows
in
of Brimstone.
there.
Of course, you've seen it here on the biggest channel in the world, right?
So yes, yes, yes. I borrowed some of your techniques actually. I had not painted in a few years, so that finally when the Forbidden Fortress finally came out, that got me back into it because of my love of Japan and Japan lore. So uh,
Oh, let me tell you something. That was one of my favorite things to paint in a while, and I was at the point where I had a little bit of a painter's block, and I had gotten that, and I said, "Oh, I got to get through this. This is pretty important to get painted." And I took that giant dragon and put him together, and I painted him, and no more painter's block. It was just okay. I'm back into this. I'm focused. It really helped. It's a great set, and it's a lot of fun. So
so
that's a number. So that's at number 5. So number 4.
well actually that might be number one for me if we're going
So
because
you're going completely
I know
backwards.
I'm already yeah. I don't know I would have prepared a top five if I would have.
Well, Steve, this is an interview. We're putting some pressure on you.
I know
We're giving you the tough questions. Did you think I was going to throw you a softball?
because I mean there's been games that have kind of come and gone.
Okay, that's all right. Well,
Um
just name off a couple of that.
sure. I mean so Sentinels of Multiverse.
The card game
Definitely.
or the miniature game?
Oh no, the card game.
The card game was
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It was good until then it became too much.
Yeah,
So
they kept on adding and adding and
the last
adding.
expansion is almost unplayable.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah. So that was kind of a shame that that was how it ended. Let's see. Actually, another flying frog game that I really enjoy is A Touch of Evil.
Ooh.
I think that that might be their tightest design. Where the other games, because like their Last Night on Earth, I did enjoy for a while, but then the expansions kind of muddied the waters with it. And but so Touch of Evil would probably be in my top five as well.
I think I have the 10-year anniversary edition of that, and
Oh, nice.
I've been looking to get that to the table a little bit. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so Godzilla Lover says, "Wow, Steve likes a lot of the same games I do."
Oh, hey.
See, you're getting some fans here.
All
So
right.
let's
So
keep going. Let's go.
even those of us that are New England Patriots fans, we're people too. Yeah. So
Oh boy. See, that's the personality that I'm trying to drag out of you.
there we go.
I just maybe I got to hit you with a steel chair,
maybe
like poor Keith.
it'll yeah, I mean, I don't there's not a lot left up there, but it might rattle something around and well, um, let's see. Well, I'm gonna have to cheat again with another sports themed game,
Go ahead.
and
Go
it's a
ahead.
newer one that came out last year, Breakaway Football,
Breakaway
and
football.
it's a card based game, and what it is you each team has three different types of plays that they can run, different formations, and
Right.
then each card is double has two plays on it, and it's sort of a rock paper scissors mechanic, and that
Okay.
like if I call an outside run and you call a zone defense, I'll get an offensive breakaway from it. But if I call a medium pass and you call a blitz defense, then you get a defensive breakaway.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a game day deck that can sometimes nullify the results. Like you would have got a completed pass, but the game day says, oh, at the last second it was swatted away. Um, and it's just another one of those games that just works. And each team has a unique mechanic that kind of twists it around. They're all loosely based, well, some not so loosely based on real teams
Mm-hmm.
and specific years of those teams. So some teams have like a defensive mechanic where they'll just automatically generate a turnover when a certain event happens. Um, of course, my favorite, they just released a new expansion that has the Minutemen, who are based on the Patriots, and they
Oh.
actually have a mechanic that when they score a touchdown, they get to draw one of those game day cards and just keep it. And then at any time when a game day card would be played, they can just put it down and say, "Oh no, actually this happens." And but yeah, so each team kind of has their own little unique mechanic, and so they all play a little differently. And you can get a full game of football in about 30 minutes. Each team can play solo. It has its own like AI sheet and
Mm-hmm.
or play head to head. So um,
So, how high would you say Baseball Highlights 2045 is for you?
that would probably be number 5
Really?
on it. Yeah. Um,
I
I mean, outside of my main games that I like play all the time,
Okay.
it's mostly baseball, but
Let me make sure I get this phone call into Mike Fitzgerald right
oh,
now.
okay.
All right. A funny story. I'm going to tell you guys this. I already told Steve this, but I want to tell everybody out there in the audience. I'm at BGG and not BGG. I'm at Origins in the Board Game Geek booth, and Mike Fitzgerald comes up with his latest offering, which is
Football,
football highlights 2045. So
2052.
52. Excuse me. Thank God Steve's here. So I'm just sitting there and I'm looking and I'm just looking at it and I don't want to bother him because he's setting up the game. He turns to me and he goes, "You're Rob Oren, aren't you?" I go, yeah. Matter of fact, I am because I'm a big fan of all your painting stuff. I love watching the videos that
Hmm.
time and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, wow, this guy's like legendary. I go, well, thank you. I'm a big fan of of the baseball game, and he remembered when I played at the Dice Tower. We played in a tournament, and it came down to me winning by one card, and it was either turn over a card off the top of the deck or play the last card in my hand
Oh,
in extra innings of the seventh game of the championship game. And something told me to take that card off the top of the deck, but I didn't. And I played the card in my hand and I lost. But if I played the card on the top deck, because I turned it over like an idiot,
oh
and I
no.
went, oh, I would have won because it blocks, and
Yeah.
and that's just the way that game works. And I ended up losing. So he remembered that. And he says that was because that was the first time I ever played the game. And he said, I'll never forget that. That was just so much fun to watch. And I told him, I go, you gotta check out my friend, after further review. And he goes, oh, I know Steve. I'm going out to play.com and I'm going to see him there. I go, well, Steve and I have been doing something with the wrestling stuff and everything like that. And I started explaining everything that was going on. And I go, Mike, I'm going to tell you a little secret. He goes, what's that? I go, we're going to kill Keith. The guy that runs play.com that you're going out to. He goes, that's good. He needs it. And he's laughing. He's going, yeah, you guys really need to mess him up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he remembered that you're going to be out there refereeing one of his games. So it's really going to be a lot of fun. And it's just it's just something else that we have that connection between the bunch of us, which is kind of cool. So
Hmm. I
so
mean, it seems like every time that I play baseball highlights, it does come down to that.
yeah.
It's so well balanced, and it's just so funny because there's so much going on. There's so many moving parts. But
Yeah.
again, it's just one of those. It just works. It's like,
It,
oh wow,
it,
that's
and it's glorious and it's brilliant. Time for me to run away, heading out to the movies. Well, Kabuki, make sure you tell us tomorrow, because we're also going to be live tomorrow. We're doing I don't know what I put question marks because I'm not sure which game I want to play that I brought back from Origins, but we're going to be doing something big. So of course, Kabuki, we love you all, so we'll see you. Wrestling highlights 2064. Yeah,
oh,
we need that. Can you imagine if he comes up with that? Oh.
it,
Boyfriend is watching Subs versus Cubs and wrestling, flipping back and forth, but recording both.
oh, nice.
She's watching SmackDown. There you go.
Okay.
Sent you a fundraiser for review. If you like it, I can get it live before the end of the stream. Well, that's what just must have went off. See,
Oh,
there's
there
the
you
queen
go.
of all reality. She's got a logo for our fundraiser. Oh wow, this really looks cool. I'm gonna blow this up. There you go. I'm gonna show you guys. See it, Steve?
Oh, wow. Nice.
Helen's always killing it. Old
That is
school.
awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, Helen. Go with it. You got approval live from everybody.
Wow.
Pete Shirley, Pete Shire's here, the human shark. I don't know if you know Pete, Steve, but um, Pete is one of the major marketing managers for Cool Mini or Not, and
Okay.
a very, very good friend of mine.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, if you check out one of my videos, you can see the better side of him. Okay,
Okay.
there will be a link by the end of the stream. Helen's always on top. Steve, I got to tell you this much, and I got to give them all the credit. I've got a couple girls that do some things. Larissa, Helen, Kabuki when she's doing the admin stuff, and of course Tina, the board gamer, who just do such a fantastic job of just keeping this thing running. And as you get bigger, Steve, you realize that you need more help.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it really does get overwhelming. Let's say hi to Pete. Let's say hi to Tim. Tim B's in the house.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, here we go.
Uh-oh.
This ain't gonna end well. Hey Rob, while at Origins, I ended up winning the Star Trek Attack Wing US National Championship. Congratulations. I got a chance to see Matt and his beautiful wife. It's always good to see them every year. I always like seeing them. Kabuki, I love to help. I have time. Well, Godzilla lover, get with Helen. She'll be more than happy to help you. And I would love, you are one person I would definitely want on the team. So, here you go, folks. You're seeing history be made as we are going to hire Godzilla lover onto the team.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Well, I got all my Godzilla. I usually have my Godzilla figures in the back, but I'm redesigning the back because I realized I had two boards here. I couldn't get them up so I can get the games out underneath. So I had to redesign something. One other thing, I heard that you were actually a referee. Is that true?
Like for a sport?
Yes.
No.
Somebody said you were a referee.
No. No. No, I never refereed. So, not sure where you heard that from, but
I'm so glad because I was going to take that and just, the only thing you ever did was
oh,
referee anything, and I'm telling you, I've been a two-sport All-American, and you
oh,
ain't nothing to
yeah.
Steve.
No, no, no. This is
Well, I'm going to have to reshoot that promo.
oh boy, yeah. No, the highlight of my athletic prowess was when I was in the Marines. We were doing an exercise, and we were in full boots and utes and full armor with the
Oh
helmet,
yeah, we've
and
done that. I've won a few of those.
we had to pair up, and we had to pick up our battle buddy and run 50 yards with him, and
Mm-hmm.
then switch. And I got paired up with a guy who was a bodybuilder who probably weighed 220 without anything on, and then was in full gear. I mean, and so I got him on my shoulders, and somehow I made it to 50 yards.
Nice.
I put him down. I lay down, and he literally with one hand grabs me and catches up with everyone else. Oh yeah, yeah. That was but I did it. That was the one thing being the Marines taught me. It was like it as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't, if you're the person that just
Keeps
you're not
grinding it out,
stopping.
grinding it out.
Yeah,
You see,
yeah.
that's the
So
way. That's the way we were. When I served, and it's just whatever you do, you never step one foot backwards. You keep moving forward, no matter what is thrown at you in life. You keep moving forward,
yep.
and and the thing I always think about is that speech in Rocky, which I don't care what anybody says. Rocky Balboa was a good movie.
Oh, the first one.
No, no, no.
That one that just came out. Oh, okay, yeah,
The Rocky Balboa one,
yeah.
and then it went from Creed to Creed 2. But when he gave that speech to his son, he says, "Hey, you got nobody to blame but yourself. You want to blame it on everybody else? No, you don't. You know, winning is done by keep moving forward, and life will hit you harder than anything that you can ever imagine. But it's being able to take the hits and keep moving forward. I mean, I could repeat the whole speech, but I won't. But I always remember that because it reminds me back in the time when I served that we were just taught forward, forward, forward. And when I deal with you, I always keep that in the back of my head because I'm thinking to myself all the time, all right, I know how he is. He doesn't like to back up. I don't like to back up. How do we make this work and not make you look so helpless, but you know, the thing, the funny, the kayfabe part of it, or should we say the fake part of it, is how do you get people invested in this? And it's to make you look like you're facing such an insurmountable odds that
Mhm.
you don't have a chance. So people are going to naturally get behind you. First of all, you're a baby face to begin with. Okay. And what I try to do is get so much heat on myself and just make it look like, hey, Steve, there's nothing you can do on this planet. I'm big time. Okay. I'm the man. I'm everything. And deep down, it's like, oh yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that guy, Steve. And to try to get you to, you know, you're a guy that stands tall. So to get you to kind of sulk a little bit,
Mhm.
because I told you, I go, Steve, make it look like you don't know what to do. And that's not you, because
Oh,
you'll just sit there and you go, all right, well, we're going
yeah.
to see how this is going to go next week
Can't
because
have dead air. But yeah.
Steve doesn't back up. So how do we get around this? Steve just cuts me off at the end and just goes to pattern. It's like I cut the feed. And listen, I'm telling you bits and pieces of everything, folks, But I'm telling you right now, Saturday at 8 o'clock, when that video goes live, Top Pro Wrestling, narrated by the one and only Tiger, you're going to want to see it, because not only is it, don't have anything in your mouth when you're watching it, because I think I spit. I'm the one that did it. And I watched it back, and I went to go take a sip of something, and all of a sudden I went, I actually said that as the Tiger. And you just look at it, and he tries to take, and the Tiger tries to take it so seriously, but because he's so serious, that's what makes it so funny.
That makes it, oh, sure, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you can't get past the microphone.
So, yeah. Well, so that's, yeah, it's kind of hard to act serious about it, because I'm just having such a good time with it. And
I know.
so all right, I'll do better. I swear I can
All right,
do
I know.
that.
Okay. All right. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of questions here. Let's read off. I think we got some stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Tiger told Rob that. Oh, the Tiger told me that you were a referee. I'm reffing
Oh,
between my wife and son, says Tim. High Volume Guest says, after Johnny Volume was mentioned in the reveal promo, I'm still deciding where my loyalties tie. Well, we actually had a little bit of a meeting with Johnny Volume, who happened to be down in Florida. I'm going to leave it at that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think you should be a little worried.
Oh, no.
Captain Carl 8 McGill. I'm a former umpire for my town's Little League and loved every minute of it. That's cool. Sablik, what's up, my brother? Rob, what and where did you serve? I served in the Army, and I actually did my basic. It was the first time I ever left Connecticut in my life, so it was a little scary, but I ended up coming down south here, down to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And from there went to Fort Sam Houston, where I studied as a medical specialist, and then went to Fort Benning, and boy, I was just all over the place. Tim B says that one was a good movie. It had a good message. It sure did, Tim. It was a really good movie, and it was really about, you see, that's the best thing about it, is the fighting in the Rocky movies almost as secondary as much as the message of just facing your fears.
Sure.
I think more than anything. Let's see. Okay, y'all saw it approved live on this stream, and now you can go pick up your Cystic Fibro CF ribbon merch. Proceeds will go to cystic fibrosis. I can't say that word because I can't hear myself. Charities. And she gives the thing. Tim says, I'm munching on Doritos in my 1976 trailer that hasn't been dusted in 5 years.
Nice.
You know, Tim.
Yes.
You know, the funny thing about, and I have to go into this because, Tim, you're the one that we were worried about the most, that we're taking this too seriously. And the funny thing about it was, I saw how loyal he was to you, and he made himself an instant target. So
a mark, as we call it in the industry.
Yeah, he was a definite mark. So I went after him with everything I had, and I went, you know, you're sitting there with your pack of Camels and your Natty Lights,
Natty Light,
yeah, and I just didn't, you know, anything I could think of, you know, none of you are worth anything. You're not anything like me. You're and and I would go check the comments every single day, and every single day Tim would leave a new comment. Well, Mr. Zorin, you are Zerorin or whatever. Yeah, which I can't even pronounce. And I'm reading it, I'm going, oh my God, this guy's getting madder and madder as the week goes on. I go, yeah, well, I think we'll poke him a little more next week. And guys, you'll see it all on Saturday. And don't forget to tune in on Monday night, because the ramifications of everything that you're going to see that happened Saturday is going to roll into Monday night. And you want to be a part of Monday Night Tights. Trust me, it's a laugh riot. It really is. And it's a good time. the merch store is up. Look, Helen is working so hard tonight. I mean, you gotta love her. Uh, Tim says, remember, be nice to the commissioner, Helen. Yeah, and that's another thing, Steve. I don't know if you've seen any of the Top Pro Wrestling, which I got a feeling that you will very shortly. But we actually call the commissioner while she's working at her real job.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because as you know, the game will say, well, the commissioner says that. I go, no, we're not going to stand for this. And we'll call her and go, commissioner, it just, and she doesn't know a thing because she's stuck at work. Oh. So the best one was,
that's great.
I get her on the phone and it's live. Okay. Cause we do it live most of the time. And I go, commissioner, how are you going to let this stand? Is it true that Frankenstein has been disqualified and that we have to have this match over? Are you going to allow the grudge match? And you hear nothing on the other end of the phone. And then all of a sudden you hear her go, yeah, sure. Why not? I go, well, good. And I hang up on her. After the show ends, I get a phone call. What the hell was that?
Right.
Well, we made you commissioner of the
oh, that's great. That's great. Oh.
and it just rolls into this thing. And the thing that I do differently than you do, Steve, like you're so nice and smooth and everything just works so well with you. But for me, it's completely chaotic because in the middle, I have a secondary camera that points to the cards. And then I start talking as the cards. So I start coming up with all the voices. So you hear the Tiger voice variated like 17 different times. Because I think the Tiger is also the Tiger. I think he's Freakenstein Jr. and Senior. And who is that guy? All in one. You know.
Right. Oh, you get a voice that works, you stick with it, right?
Yeah. I know. Thank you, Helen. I'll go there the end of the week, Captain Carl McGill says. Well, thank you so much. I mean, it's a lot to us. Tim says, hoo-ha, Army vet here too. And we got a bunch of laughs. That was great. High volume games. I bought a shirt. Definitely a great cause. Well, thank you so much. I mean,
yes, thanks, Bill.
It really means a lot to us, Bill. Thank you so much. And hey, we got our first sale, and you'll always be immortalized as the first person to buy a shirt on Rob's Tabletop merch. So hats off to High Volume Games, and thank you all so much. And anything you guys could do, we really appreciate it. Everything goes to the charities that mean so much to us. And a matter of fact, the little one there is having some contractions, so we're getting a little worried because it's like 5 or 6 weeks early. So we're holding our breath here, but you know, and of course they're getting married on Saturday, so let's hold on till after the marriage. They get married, you know, knowing our luck, we'll get right to the church. Boom. All right, let's go.
No pressure. Huh?
No pressure. I'm going to have my wife pick something from the store too. Thank you so much, Tim. That means a lot to us. But you know, we just don't have those t-shirts. We also have we have our Worn Pieces segment t-shirts. We're actually going to have Head of the Tiger. Speaking of, I adulted today. Here's my daughter, my beautiful daughter. Hello, how are you? She's on the other side there. You forgot to mention that I was elbow deep in an aggravated battery case when that call came in. Yes.
No.
Yeah. Helen is not only one of the big helpers, but she is my attorney. So Steve, we are going to sue you for the rights of Monday Night Tights. That's our next angle, that we're going to take it all away from you legally. And the commissioner is going to sue you. All
right. Well, I'm going to have the law offices of Gambini and get in touch with you then.
Oh, okay. We got a few of those down here too. I would like to see a mug with your sign-off saying on it. Helen's working on it. I'm on your side, Helen. I don't know how you put up with him. It says Tim. Oh, here he goes.
Uh-oh. And we're off.
We're off. We wound them up. The most important thing though is just knowing what a great friend Steve is. He has a fantastic channel and wonderful kids, wonderful wife, I just can't say enough about you. And, as this thing has progressed, how we've grown closer as friends. And I just see us doing things, not just the wrestling thing, but just gaming stuff, for quite some time. So, welcome to the channel. And of course, I made myself welcome on yours.
Well, let's not go that far, yeah.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say it was welcomed.
Yeah,
I made an impact
there
on
you
the
go.
channel. Let's put it that way.
Well, thank you for because I mean, I always try to have fun with my channel and when I'm playing games because otherwise, what's the point? But definitely this last couple of months has been just a ball. Uh, look forward to it every week and um yeah, just one of those. I mean, I never intended for Monday Night Tights to be a recurring show, but people just started showing up on Monday night and like, hey, we're ready for wrestling and and then now your invasion segment, definitely kicked things into high gear and
Yeah.
yeah, looking
And then we started Top Pro Wrestling. So we got that on Saturday night too. So, there's always going to be things that kind of work into things. And we have so many ideas. If you guys sat there and saw how we tried to map, not map things, but we just started dropping things and it's just amazing. Helen, of course, working really hard tonight, said that we're going to make sure that she said she's going to put a link to your channel in the description as well. So you guys can easily just click on there, go over to Steve's channel, really check it out because it is one of the most fascinating channels that you'll ever see. And one of the things that I really tried to do was I wanted to get exposure for your channel. That's originally where we started off because you've been a good friend and I just wanted you to be very successful. I'm not somebody that has to bask in the glory, even though it sounds that way every Monday night.
that's kayfabe, Rob.
Yeah, I know, I know. Or is it? Or is it a shoot? I don't know. We gotta figure that one out. But the integration between the two channels, it's just going to get better and better, and there's always going to be a swerve. Yeah, so we're actually going to try to get a good picture of the tiger. We're going to have a tiger shirt. There's all kinds of things. We're trying to do it as slow as we can, but obviously, we don't do anything slow around here.
Yeah.
I'll check the store right after the live stream, says Godzilla Lover. Pete Shirey, I always call him Shirley.
Shirley, stop calling him
Shirley, I know. I want a shirt with a picture of the tiger riding a shark. Helen, can you do that? Because at least we'll sell one shirt.
That's nice.
Oh God. And then of course, Helen, Egg, and Tim on going, good question. I'm not sure how I deal with them some days myself. Boy, I tell you, a heel, just a natural heel.
Yes, it's scary.
So, what do you got coming up tomorrow night, Steve?
So tomorrow night, my Wild Card Wednesday, I'm happy to be bringing History Maker Baseball back to the channel. Hadn't had it on for a while, and I'll be showcasing my favorite fictional player, Fernando De La Rosa, who was a pitcher for the New England Minutemen, using the fictional Baseball America set. So very much looking forward to that, and because History Maker Baseball is the reason why we have AFR.
Mm-hmm.
So.
First of all, it's such a great name. After further review, I was like, man, why couldn't I have that?
Oh yeah, it's
maybe we should have a wrestle off for it. And like then I just destroy after further review, and I
like
take
a card
it over
game wrestle
and mold it into my channel. And I'll take all your viewers and everything else.
Oh yeah, trying to.
But most of all, everybody, please do me a favor. Stick your head in there tomorrow night. See how well. First of all, even though I have some heat with Mr. Avalon, the games that he made are just so brilliant. And matter of fact, I called Pete right after, and I go, Pete, you got to see this. Because Pete likes sports games. I go, you got to see these sports games because they're like ridiculous. They're fantastic. The guy is like a genius. why he doesn't have me on his channel. Why am I not the face of play.com? I don't understand. He's lucky that I'm going to be someplace, okay? And that I'm not going to make it to PlayCon, okay? Because if I did, there would have been a chair shot,
Uh-oh.
okay? And I would have finished the job that I started on Monday night.
All right. Well,
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'll send your regards.
Yeah.
I'll say Rob
Forget.
wishes you the best.
Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm playing it up a little bit for the thing. But let's just read a few more comments, and then because I've got to get up at 4 a.m. You make it, I will buy it, says Pete. See, we gotta get that. Get me a picture of a shark and I'll work on it when I get a tiger portrait. Well, we got to figure out how we're going to get a tiger portrait, number one. Like when Booker T lost the T in his name in the WCW. Oh, remember that? I remember.
Oh, talking about us wrestling off for the AFR rights.
Meet me at the table, Barrett, who is another good friend of the show. Good to see you guys having so much fun. Totally going to check out the channel. Definitely check out the channel.
Awesome.
I emailed Keith well wishes for a speedy recovery.
Nice.
Boy, wait till he gets out. He goes, "What, am I sick?"
Right.
somebody needs for him to see himself completely broken. Have to check out the wrestling thing. Sounds cool. Definitely check out Monday Night Tights, and you can check out some prior episodes of Top Pro Wrestling here on Rob's Tabletop World. You need Steve's green screen. I have a green screen. We just got to use it and learn how. Liz H, how are you? Hi, Steve. Hi, Rob. Boston, Jersey. Good man. Liz, we haven't seen you. Why? Hi. Von Deacon, night all, was just lurking in the shadows. That's all right. We always like lurkers. We always enjoy them. All right. Listen, make sure you check out Steve's channel after further review. Steve does something almost every single night, except for Thursday, right?
No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. I guarantee you. Check out play.com and all the sort of games, and check Steve's backlog if you're interested in a certain game, because they even have roller derby, for crying out loud. I mean, who doesn't have fun with roller derby? And the most important thing is check it out, and you could see it played on Steve, because Steve does a fantastic job of explaining the game. I think you should do more than sports games, but I'm telling you, you have a gift. You're very thorough and you do a great job. Check out after further review. The link will be in the bottom of this video. Steve, thank you so much for stopping by. I can't thank you enough. And this has been so much fun. And I just wanted everybody to really know, a great guy and a great friend, and how much you mean to me and everything that we're doing and how much fun we're having. And don't forget that Steve will be on here too. Okay. That was the first play.com game I ever bought, Roller Rumble. There you go. And Helen Screaming, make sure you get your merch. We'll be talking more about that tomorrow when we go live at 5 o'clock, as we're going to be actually playing a game. Don't forget, especially those CF ribbons, wear them with pride, because the most important thing is that you'll be supporting Steve and I's mission to help fund research and help for those who have CF.
Yes. Let's turn CF into Cure Found. That's
the best thing that we can do, because we have loved ones, and some of you have loved ones and people that you don't realize that somebody, you may not have it, but you could be carrying the gene, and that into itself is something that they're looking to cure. So you just don't know, and it really is something. Pete said, going to glue my Rumble Slam Shark Wrestler. That's a game that you and I are going to do live, Steve.
Okay.
And I think you'll really enjoy it, because it'll be a lot of fun. Rumble Slam, get ready for that one. Steve and I will be doing it, and you'll see Steve on here more. They said Great job. You guys should do this again, and we definitely will,
Oh,
because
yes.
we're gonna keep promoting Steve's channel until he gets 10,000, just like somebody else here.
Huh. Well, all right. Well,
We're
I look
gonna
forward to it. Yes. Yeah.
listen. I spread the love, brother. I
All
spread
right.
the love. Come on now. Hey, Steve, hang on. I'm gonna sign off to everybody. Hey,
All
listen,
right.
everybody, take this and take it to the bank. I say this at the end of every stream. Be kind to somebody, because not only is it going to make that person feel good, it's going to make you feel good. And as always, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. And you guys are my world, and I love you all. And we will see you guys tomorrow night. For my good friend Steve, after further review, check out his channel, and your old pal Rob. We will see you soon.